Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the singing of the national anthem by Kayla Tucker and the presentation of the colors by the New York Police Department Explorers Unit.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light was so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. My name is Scott Perrin. I'm the Executive Director of First Responders Children's Foundation. We have a brief program of some dignitaries. Without further ado, I'd like to introduce the president of the foundation. Ladies and gentlemen, Jillian Crane.
Thank you, Scott, and welcome everybody, and happy Thanksgiving, and welcome from the First Responders Children's Foundation. This is our 19th annual Thanksgiving Day Parade Breakfast, and we are so grateful. We are grateful to all of our first responder families and their sacrifices that they have made and continue to make to protect us and our families. I'd like to say a very heartfelt thank you to the Foundation's dedicated board of directors, and I'd like to invite the board members to please stand in recognition. Teresa Ashton, Madeline Burke, Scott Cullither, Michael Emmerman, Kenneth Klug, Bradley Leinhart, Lawrence Levy, Jacqueline Rosinski, Dan Stevens, Daniel Stewart, and Cheryl Whaley. And finally, I would like to acknowledge the founder and chairman of the foundation, Al Kahn. He is the reason we're here today. Al wanted to do something to comfort the children who had lost parents, and he created this event in 2001. And it has grown every year since, and it continues to provide line-of-duty families with a happy Thanksgiving. The original event was in 2001. It was a heartfelt salute to the families, but it was also the beginning of the First Responders Children's Foundation, and we now work year-round to support first responder families across the country through scholarships and grants to individuals and community programs. The First Responders Children's Foundation is committed to meeting the needs of first responders families who need us now more than ever due to the ongoing line-of-duty deaths and the 9/11 related illnesses and deaths. I'd love to also today, since it's Thanksgiving and we have a lot of gratitude, I have more thank yous, and I'd like to extend a heartfelt thank you to our sponsors, Bryant Park Corporation, CSX, Invent, Louis Vuitton, and the K Family Foundation. And I want to thank all these dedicated volunteers out here, and the explorers and the drummers and all of the staff at the First Responders Children's Foundation at the Bryant Park Grill who worked tirelessly to prepare for this celebration. This morning, I'd like to welcome some special friends of the foundation who are here for the first time. The Greenbrier Resort in West Virginia with Robert Harris, Tim Gwynn, and Ashley Cagle. The Greenbrier now collaborates with the First Responders Children's Foundation every year on the anniversary of 9/11 at the PGA Tour called A Military Tribute at the Greenbrier, where the foundation is a charity partner, and we had a really wonderful and moving event there this year. Over the past year, first responder families have benefited from another partnership we have that has helped this foundation incredibly and have allowed us to help more first responders, and that is CSX, the railroad company. They have partnered with us, and we have awarded 28 CSX Pride in Service scholarships to students in 23 states. Together, Together, we have also provided grants to fund a youth fitness program in New Jersey, a forensic summer camp in Virginia, a Take Down Drugs campaign program in New York, and we helped recently with the NYPD Community Center in East New York, which, if you haven't seen, is a remarkably wonderful place. Go check it out. We have also helped first responder families, most recently in a health grant for a family that required out-of-state hotel accommodations while their young child was receiving medical ongoing treatment. This is all of the things that the foundation is committed to supporting, and we want to assure the community that we are here and better than before, and we welcome all of you to join us in supporting first responders today. And we thank this partnership with CSX. Without them, we would not be doing as much as we are. So thank you, CSX. And anyone who would like to get involved with the First Responders Children's Foundation, please visit our website or follow us on social media at FirstRCF. And please take pictures and post them at #FirstRCF. Welcome to our event, and thank you for being here.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a few brief remarks from some dignitaries. First up, please welcome the Superintendent of the Port Authority Police of New York and New Jersey, Edward Cetnar.
Morning, everybody, and happy Thanksgiving. Very quickly, on behalf of the men and women of the Port Authority Police Department and all our families, we cannot thank the foundation enough for the continuous efforts that they do year in and year out. Without the support and without the help, that slogan of never forget could fade away. And for that, we are very, very grateful on behalf of, as I said, the men and women and all our families. So thank you. Have a great day. And again, thank you to the foundation for having us.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Fire Commissioner Daniel Nigro.
Thank you. Today's Thanksgiving, and what else can we say but thank you. Thank you to the men and women who are out there away from their families today to keep us safe, whether military, law enforcement, firefighters, EMTs, and paramedics, who are all working today to keep us safe. Thank you to them. Thank you to Al and Jillian for all they do, for the board members, for the sponsors, for this great work of this foundation year after year after year. And it's so good to start the holidays like this with a bunch of happy people. And we'll soon be watching those balloons fly, right, Jim? No pressure. So thank you very much. Thank you all for being here. Enjoy the day.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the founder and chairman of First Responders Children's Foundation, Al Kahn.
Wow. It's my honor to welcome NYPD Commissioner James O'Neill to today's Thanksgiving breakfast. It's one of the Commissioner's last official public appearances before stepping down at the end of this month as the 43rd NYPD Commissioner. Commissioner O'Neill began his law enforcement career in 1983, and as Commissioner, he has led the NYPD, the country's largest municipal police department, comprised of 77 patrol precincts, 36,000 officers, and 19,000 civilian employees. In his role as Commissioner, he has advocated for the need for community policing and keeping people protected. He has been instrumental in developing NYPD's neighborhood policing, and has been a hands-on police practitioner and a dedicated police reformer. Commissioner O'Neill has spent his life helping others, a lesson that has taught him by his mother, who reminded her kids, it's not about you, it's about helping other people. And the Commissioner has done just that. We have seen it firsthand here at the First Responders Children's Foundation. Commissioner O'Neill has supported our first responder community by being here on Thanksgiving mornings year after year and working with us throughout the year. As a matter of fact, we just had a luncheon with Commissioner O'Neill this past week where we discussed initial initiatives and, of course, the transformation from Commissioner O'Neill to our new commissioner, who's here today as well. I recall an interview with the commissioner when he said, I'm not a big legacy person. When I walk out the door, if I leave this city in a safer place than when I came here, then I'll be happy. Commissioner O'Neill, you have left your mark on the great city of New York. I thank you for your personal friendship. On behalf of the First Responders Children's Foundation, we thank you for support through the years. With that in mind, we have something, a little token of our esteem. This is pretty heavy. And we hope that you'll have this in your new office and remember us. And thank you so much for everything you've done for us.
Thanks, Al. Thank you very much.
Sure.
Almost dropped it. See, Dan, this is what the police department got. I love Dan Nigro. Just Al, Jillian, entire Children's Foundation, thank you for asking me to come back again this year. As we celebrate this National Day of Thanks, I really want to acknowledge the extraordinary work being done every single day by all of New York City's men and women in uniform, whatever that uniform happens to be. We know all the holidays are an especially difficult time for families grieving the loss of a loved one. We're here to support those who are left behind and to work to honor the memories of those true heroes. At times, what we do can seem like a thankless profession, but the truth is the millions of people who live in, work in, and visit New York City know they owe their safe and secure Thanksgiving to the dedicated members of law enforcement and fire service and all other public servants who swore an oath to keep them safe. Many of our NYPD cops are working today, and not just at the parade outside, but out on patrol, answering 911 jobs, 311 jobs, in all 5 boroughs and every neighborhood. They have difficult jobs, made even more difficult when they have to be away from their own families on days like this. But they do it because they want to make a difference. They want to do good, and they do that each and every day. Believe me, they do that, as I said, every single day. I'm going to be about a month short of 37 years. And there's one thing I'm proud of. It's what they do every day. And they don't do it for the money, and all the families know that. No one's getting rich doing this job. Whether you're in the fire service, the Port Authority, the NYPD, whatever you're doing in law enforcement, you took this job because you made a decision in your life to do something good. And you know the risk, but they do it anyway. So I'm going to miss a lot. Maybe not miss everything, but I'm going to miss a lot. And I'm going to miss events like this. And thank you for your courage. Thank you for your sacrifice. We have a saying in the NYPD, and I know the fire department is just like us, we never forget, and we vow never to forget. Thank you, and everybody, please have a safe and happy Thanksgiving. And once again, thank you for this, Al and Jillian. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, to present the Victoria Ovis Scholarship Award, please welcome Elizabeth Schulman.
Good morning, everyone, and happy Thanksgiving. My name is Elizabeth Ovis Schulman, and I'm here today to commemorate my sister, Victoria Ovis, by presenting a scholarship award in her honor. My sister Victoria was a special agent with the United States Customs Service for 30 years and subsequently held a position with Louis Vuitton before her passing. Today we honor Victoria's memory along with our first responder community by presenting this scholarship, which assists the children of our nation's first responder personnel and helps them to one day become tomorrow's future heroes. I would like to thank the board members of the First Responder Children Foundation and Louis Vuitton for their continued support. This event generously hosted by the Foundation, gives us the opportunity to not only celebrate holiday, but pause for a moment and reflect on those lives that were permanently changed by a traumatic event or prematurely taken from us. Today, our thoughts and prayers are with those whose careers are dedicated to saving lives, especially the brave men and women who made the ultimate sacrifice. Today's recipient of the Victoria Ovis Scholarship Award is Brian Damon from Western Pennsylvania. Brian's father was a police officer, as was many in his family. I'm here today to honor these very brave officers by presenting Brian with a scholarship award. Brian attends Penn State University as a senior studying cybersecurity. Ultimately, Brian wants to follow in his family's footsteps of law enforcement. All of Brian's attributes and great qualities embodies the spirit of the Victoria Ovis Scholarship Award. So on behalf of myself and my entire family and the First Responders Children's Foundation, it is my honor to present this year's Victoria Ovis Memorial Scholarship Award to Brian Damon. Happy Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving.
You want to speak? You want to speak?
Sure. I'd like to start off by wishing everyone happy Thanksgiving. I'd like to thank Al Khan for starting this and Jillian for having us all here. Everyone else, my family's here with me to support me this time. They were unable to make it this past summer. This scholarship has touched my life and their lives, and as she said, allowed me to study cybersecurity at Penn State and ultimately try and get into something within cybersecurity within the government, law enforcement, to help people eventually after school. So thank you.
Now it is my honor to present the First Responders Public Service Hero Award. We do this every year, and we have selected a wonderful firefighter, a lieutenant, and her name is Serena Sarisakul. She was the first Asian firefighter in the FDNY in 2005. She was the first woman officer to be signed to the 14th Division. Lieutenant Sarisakul served as president of the United Women's Firefighters, an organization that provides programs and support for women firefighters. Lieutenant Sarisakul is a lifelong activist for creating social justice and gender equality, and she's also a member of the FDNY Phoenix Society, which represents the Asian Pacific Islander personnel of the FDNY. It's because of trailblazers like Lieutenant Sarisakul, there are now 107 women in the FDNY. So please join me in welcoming the 2019 First Responders Children's Foundation Public Service Hero Award to Lieutenant Serena Sarisakul.
I've never been so humbled to speak in front of an audience before. I wanted to thank the First Responders Children's Foundation for creating such a wonderful event so that we can all be here together with our big first responder family and celebrate this amazing day together, and to give thanks to all of our community members and those who served before us. I too lost my mother when I was young. I was 16 years old, and my mother died of breast cancer. She was a nurse at Montefiore Hospital. So I too understand what it feels like to have a great loss in your life. But if there's one thing I can tell you is that it does get better, and you can draw strength from such horrific pain. And it's events like this, it's organizations like this that help make it better. And today, it's really such a great honor to be here with you to celebrate, and I want to thank you all. Thank you. Oh, thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our very valued partner from CSX, Brian Tucker.
Thank you. Well, on behalf of the 21,000 employees at CSX, we're so proud to be here today. A year ago, we launched the CSX Pride in Service program. I'll just tell you a little bit about it. At CSX, service is part of who we are. It's what we do every day. Every day, the men and women of CSX serve the country's economy, keeping it strong, hauling our customers' freight across our network and getting their goods to their customers and keeping the lights on in this country. We also employ our own police force, and our Chief of Police, Sean Duras, is here with us today. I'd like to recognize Sean. So we wanted to extend this culture of service to recognize those that serve us so selflessly every day, sacrificing to keep us safe in our communities and in our country. And I'm talking about our military members, our veterans, and of course, our first responders that do so much for us. And we are so proud to be able to partner with the First Responders Children's Foundation to help us on that mission. So I couldn't thank Al and Jillian and Scott and Joanna and your whole team enough for everything that you do. We've accomplished so much in the first year. Like Jillian mentioned, we've given out 28 scholarships across 23 states. It's just a tremendous, tremendous accomplishment, and we're so excited about the future. Today we're joined by some of this year's scholarship recipients as well as previous year's recipients. And some of these folks, along with their families, have traveled across the country to be with us today. We have the Kilgan family with us today. 4 of their children, Adrian, Amy, Jack, and Michael, were awarded scholarships this year. And if I'd ask that they stand if they're here with us. The CSX Pride in Service grants with the First Responders Children's Foundation have funded community outreach programs that our first responders oversee. We have emergency grants that have helped first responders' families across the country get through tough times, and we're, again, looking forward to everything that we'll be able to do in the future together. So on today, Thanksgiving, I, along with CSX, want to personally thank the first responders for everything that you do and the sacrifices that you make. The debt of gratitude that you are owed by people like me is impossible to repay, but on days like today, we do our best to try, and we'll continue to do that together with the First Responders Children's Foundation. Thank you.
And finally, we have a very special scholarship to announce today. This past June, our country lost a hero, Detective Luis Alvarez. He was a son, husband, father, brother, NYPD detective, a United States Marine, and a 9/11 first responder. Even if you never knew Detective Alvarez personally, you probably remember his resilience and compassion when he pleaded before the United States Congress to replenish the September 11th Victim Compensation Fund. In one of the many compelling moments before Congress, Detective Alvarez said, quote, "You made me come down here the day before my 69th round of chemo, and I'm going to make sure that you never forget a 9/11 first responder," end quote. So today, the First Responders Children's Foundation is announcing the Detective Luis G. Alvarez Memorial Scholarship. This scholarship will provide an annual award for up to 4 years to a child of a first responder who has died from or who is suffering from 9/11 related illnesses. And here today with us is Detective Alvarez's widow, Elaine Alvarez, plus their 3 sons, Tyler, Ben, and David, Detective Alvarez's sister, Ida, brothers Phil and Finn, nephew Michael, and all of their families. Also with us are individuals who also lobbied Congress alongside Detective Alvarez, John Fiel, Matt McCauley, and Tom Wilson. These are the people who helped secure permanent funding of the September 11th Victim Compensation Fund, which was signed into law this past July, just a month after Detective Alvarez passed away and just 6 weeks after his testimony on Capitol Hill. So in honor of Detective Louis G. Alvarez, we now present this plaque from the First Responders Children's Foundation to Elaine Alvarez to commemorate the Louis G. Alvarez Memorial Scholarship and also as a symbol of our profound gratitude for the sacrifices she and her family have endured. And we have duplicate plaques for everyone here from the family, which will be presented right after the program. Please welcome to the stage Elaine Alvarez, accompanied by John Fiel. Thank you so much.
Hi, my name is Elaine Alvarez. I am the widow of Luis Alvarez. I just wanted to say thank you for all of the outpouring respect that has been shown to my family. And it has been greatly appreciated. I have a little cheat sheet here, sorry. I would like to thank everyone for keeping Lou and our family in your prayers and thoughts. Thank you. Commissioner O'Neill and the NYPD family. Especially the Bomb Squad for all that they have done for us. Finally, I would like to thank First Responders Children's Foundation for the beautiful honor in naming a scholarship after my husband, Lou. Lou wanted his legacy to stand for helping 9/11 first responders and went to D.C. with John Fiel, Matt McCauley, and many others. John Fiel is from the Feel Good Foundation, and he's been incredible, as has Matt McCauley, and Jeannie Kelly. And, oh God, having a scholarship named after him will now help the children of these families, and is truly something that I carry, that we carry, his legacy in a way that our family appreciates once again. And thank you, First Responders and Children's Foundation. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Today we should all be thankful. It is a day of thanks. So let us have a moment of silence for those that we lost, those that we continue to lose, and the men and women serving overseas, protecting us from harm's way. "15 years ago, we walked the halls of Congress. We went as strangers, and we left as a family. And when we lose a family member, the pain is unbearable. So for Lou Alvarez and Ray Pfeiffer and the thousands that we have lost since 9/11, we're going to continue to advocate, we're going to continue to fight. But next year, that little-known comedian, Jon Stewart, that I made famous, we're going to go back to D.C., and we're going to get a burn pit bill passed for veterans coming home with cancer from the burn pits. We're not done. We got a lot more work to do. And to the First Responders Children Foundation, keep doing great work. You are the best of what humanity offers. You're the best 18 years later when we've seen the anger and the hate and the finger pointing. You stay above that and you continue to help those less fortunate. My small donation this morning pales in comparison to what I look forward to doing in the future, so thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, to close our program, won't you please welcome for a closing blessing the pastor of the oldest African American church on Long Island, Pastor Keith Hayward.
Good morning. I want to thank everyone for getting up this morning, being on the train at 6:25, sleeping on the train, and to the officers who allowed us to get across the barricade where no one else could move. I'm delighted to be here this morning. I want to acknowledge the fire chief from North Amityville Fire Department who lost his life. He was funeralized on this past Tuesday. Chief Darnell Rollins, who sacrificed his life. I am in awe of the hard work and support, the legacies, the continued selflessness, acts of kindness and bravery from all of our persons, the first responders. To the Children's Foundation, I just said to our President Julian, I have not heard one church mentioned. So Bethel Church in Copiague on Long Island will become the first church to become a part of the awardees for next year. I think it's important for all of us to be a part of what we do. The Suffolk County District Attorney, Mr. Tim Sini, thrust me into some things 5 years ago. We're doing some notifications door to door, trying to keep persons out of a drug world, and those police officers that were with us helped us to decrease the crime in Suffolk County by 14%. So I'm so grateful for those persons who work so tirelessly and give up themselves every day, especially on a day like Thanksgiving. And what our commissioner mentioned, those persons who will not have Thanksgiving dinner with their families like we will, our heads go off to them. So in closing, can we pray together? Blessed are you, Lord God of mercy, who through your Son gave us a marvelous example of charity and great commandment of love of one another. Send down your blessings on your servants who so graciously devote themselves to helping others. Grant them courage when they are afraid, wisdom when they make quick decisions, strength when they are weary, and compassion in all their work. We thank you for these families who have lost loved ones. We ask your comfort for them on a daily basis. When the alarms sound and they are called to aid both friend and stranger, let them faithfully serve you and their neighbor, We ask all this in your name we pray. Amen.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Thanksgiving Day Parade is just minutes away. The dining room upstairs will be open throughout the afternoon until noon. Happy Thanksgiving.